Hello everybody, welcome back to another BRIXbros video. And today in this video, I am doing LEGO New York City update number 6, and quite a bit has changed in the city. So, one of the first things that has changed in the city is I have got the park to a state that I actually really like, and this city is going through a seasonal change. So as you can see, the trees have bald branches, and I actually got this idea from Sven J on Mock Pages, also known as Spunky25 here on YouTube. And I really like this idea because it was a really cheap way to convert the city into a fall kind of season without spending a lot of money to, buy battle droid arms. And he actually uses battle droid arms now, but I wanted to go with this. So as you can see, they are live. Well, they're dead, but they are actual tree twigs I put in there. Also, I got a fountain done, which I actually really like a lot. And a cool technique about this fountain is there's actually some studs on top building. So if we go ahead and take this off, you can see, if it'll focus, that it is built upside down. So you can kind of see that. So how I actually got that to stay together is there is that little Technic beam or flexi tube that actually connects the 1x1 cylindrical piece to it. So I think it looks really nice, and it's actually based off the one in Bryant Park. Also, I did add some like train and it trails, and then when it gets closer to Christmas time, that fountain will be replaced with a Christmas tree. So you can kind of imagine that. But that is when it gets closer to Christmas time. But for now, it is Halloween. So that is one of the main things that has gotten done in this. So another big thing that has changed is Times Square has considerably shrunk quite a bit. It used to be it took up like one entire half of the table, like from all the way down there. All this over would be Times Square. But I did shrink it because I was probably not going to be able to finish a Times Square that large, and it wouldn't have allowed for me to do other sections of the city. So I shrunk it quite a bit, and as you can see, it's now much closer to completion because I didn't really get any work done on it, but it's smaller, so what little work that has been done on it is like a larger percentage of the final product. I started to lay out some windows for the Times Square Tower. I'm probably going to go back and redo those. But you have Duffy Square, which there's nothing there right now, but that is where Duffy Square will be. And this is where the New York City Manhattan bricks were. But I'm planning on doing the W150 building, the hotel, W Hotel right there, One Astor Plaza, the Condé Nast building, it's also known as the HMM Tower, maybe the New York Times Tower right there, but I did shrink it quite a bit, so probably will get finished a lot sooner. Another major thing that has changed is the street pattern in the city. As you can see, the streets, like the street blocks, are longer than the avenue blocks, which are 2 base plates wide, and these are 3 with a little bit right in the middle. But this is actually how they are in real New York City. They are longer. The streets have longer blocks than the avenues, so I really like that a lot more than before. Before it was the opposite. But I really like this view right here, where you can kind of see down the, street into Manhattan. Times Square. And then also, I got a Broadway theater started, which I took apart the Palace Cinema. So now I'm doing a Broadway theater, which I'm hoping it will look a lot better, because I didn't need a corner building, and that's what the Palace Cinema was, so I decided to rebuild it, and it's going to be a Broadway theater. If we go over here, let me get out from behind all the skyscrapers. You can see we have the subway and a building that I've started right there. That building will just be a normal apartment building. It will have, I believe it's called Angelina's Pizza on the bottom floor. It's based off a real one in New York, so it also does have an interior. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that from this angle, but it does have an interior on the inside of that. So if we come on the work in progress area of the city, you will see I have a hammer, and hammer does not go well with Lego, but it's being used for a good use. I'm actually building these little platforms. You can kind of see it right here. that the buildings will go on, since I had these like a bunch of 48 by 48 base plates. I wanted to use them, but since the city's at like a 32 by 32, I guess, kind of setup, I had to use these, but like I would have to use the snot base plate on it, so I'd have to raise up everything that's on it. So I've been building these little platforms, and I've been using the hammer to make sure that everything sticks together, and they are very solid platforms, and this is where a lot of skyscrapers will go. As you can see, I've got one of them started right here. That's how tall it will be. But this will hopefully be finished by the end of November, because bulk orders coming in. For those who don't know what that is, it's when you're part of a lug, and like Lego gives you a big discount on a bunch of Lego pieces, and it happens like once a year, and you order a bunch of Lego and it's cheaper. So I got a lot of pieces. Hopefully I'll be able to finish this building right here and get another skyscraper in city and start another skyscraper and then build a bunch of other buildings. But that is bulk order, and Lego promised that it will be in by the first week of November, so hopefully I will be getting that soon. So here is Coney Island. The only big thing that has changed is that it's not on the ground anymore. Under the table of the city, it actually has its own little table in my closet, so it's relatively cramped, but we have the Ferris wheel, the mixer, and Nathan's. Hopefully I'll do a street along here. I'm not sure if I'll be able to fit a beach in this layout particularly, but I may be able to do that in like Brick Fair and convention displays and all that. So it is a little dark in here, but it does have a table, which is actually made up of a shelf and then a bin. So yeah, that's the last thing that I wanted to show you guys, and it's a pretty big change, but that's about it. So I hope you all enjoyed this Lego New York City update, and quite a bit of change. Give me some suggestions, critiques, any feedback that you might have, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.